What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching.
You're doing a lot of the right hand movements. That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, here we are again. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. Today, it's the praise wheel. Wheel giveth and the wheel taketh away. And here we are again with the H10 Optic. And this is the praise wheel build-off. Doing this with Josh over at Harley Designs. I will be sure to put a link down to his video in the description down below. And of course, if you're enjoying this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. With any build-off, there's usually a lot of rules and parameters. Well, this one's a little bit different. We've decided there are no rules, there are no parameters. Well, there are some rules and there are some parameters, but there's not very many, and there certainly isn't a budget this time, which explains the giant pile of parts sitting here on the bench, waiting to be installed. This, of course, is the H10 Optic from Vanquish Products, a very excellent buggy. I really like this buggy. It's not really a truck. I like this off-road buggy thing a lot. It is super fun. I have not had this variant. This is the Yokohama variant. It comes in two flavors, Yokohama and Sparko. I started with the Sparko version. I did a nice trail run with it. If you are interested in checking out that full review, by all means, I suggest that you do. I will link to it right up here. You can check that out at any time. We, of course, are using the Wheel of Misfortune to determine what things we can or cannot do to our trucks each week. Because Josh and I have developed some very twisted ways of dealing with each other and making these build-offs happen. While there may not be a budget, there are a lot of ways in which we can really change this whole situation. The biggest one being that we can actually send each other our trucks. There's also another one on the wheel that I can't believe I agreed to, and it's actually happening to me this week. Like I said, the wheel was good to me before. Maybe this is the time that it's not so good to me. Or maybe it is. It's a mixed blessing, really.
Matt's official spin. Yes, yes!
That's
yes!
right. Yes.
You're excited about that?
I am. I think it's going to make for great watching. 10 o'clock. That's good.
Nicole will be so happy she does not have to do that.
Rebecca won't be happy about that at all. She's going to be very upset, but I'll give her something easy. My wife, Rebecca, has to install parts. Now, it didn't say all of the parts, so I'm going to be doing some of the installs myself, but I am going to allow her to choose what she wants to do. For this week, I have started by 3D printing a bunch of elements from Knight Customs. Like this brand new hood, and this motor, and this new grill. I've printed all of these things in PLA CF, which is a carbon fiber based PLA. It's very lightweight, much stronger than typical PLA, and holds up to a lot more heat abuse than a typical PLA might as well. It's an excellent filament. I really like working with it, and it prints very, very well, as you can see. Very nice, smooth prints. Not a lot of finishing required on those, which makes them really great for a time-sensitive build-off like this one. And because they're printed here at home on my Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon, I can afford to replace them when Josh inevitably sends me his truck with nothing on it. That kind of works to both of our disadvantages, actually, because if he gets it on the wheel, I have to send him my truck. I don't want to do that. But if I get it, he has to send me his. He might not want to do that either. I don't know how this is fair. I might actually buy a second one and send him that so I can keep the one I'm working on. Check out the big brain on Brett. I've also decided to do a wheel tire swap. These are the Geolander Yokohama XATs. Very nice looking scale tire from Vanquish. And I've got some rare earth beadlocks. I don't remember what these are called. I want to say flat earth. Birds are also not real. But I've created this little beadlock combination here. We've got some scarns. I can't remember which KMC wheel this is. Impact. These are 1.9 impacts in earth with a scarn beadlock, inner IFR ring, and a black outer ring with scale hardware and 4.75 SLW hubs. I've made up one, and I'll get Rebecca to see if she wants to do 3 more of these. Yeah, we'll test her metal at building some beadlocks, which I think will be pretty fun. It's a pretty simple one. I don't want to give anything to her too hard or difficult or make her hate this hobby any more than she already does. So maybe she'll choose those. Who knows, really? This was a file given to me by Josh Toth over at Thread and Resin. It's got a nice little cutout here in the back for a light. You could put some sort of light bar back there. I might put something from my Trick RC back there and really make that shine. Maybe even print my own little housing. Who knows? The world is my oyster. If you're interested in checking out where James Knight is hosting all of his files, he's got them on his own knightcustoms.com site. They have a really great program in place where you can buy all the files a la carte if you like, or you can also join his new membership club where you get a certain number of points for a certain number of dollars each month, and then you can print as many of these things as many times as you like. I've got a lot of other big plans for this truck, but being the first week and being that we don't really know if we're going to have to exchange trucks anytime soon, I'm kind of pausing on a lot of the other good stuff. There's a lot of mechanical upgrades we're going to do. We'll be swapping out the motor, the servo, the ESC, anything electronic basically. Probably even be swapping out the interior as well, because you know James Knight has a very nice interior piece that can either be made to animate, or he's also got a static model as well. I think this one's going to be a little bit more of my crawler / performance truck, so maybe a static one might be the one in order. Either way, put a comment down below. Let me know which interior you'd like to see in coming weeks, and I'll do my best to go with whatever the minority is. I like to do things different around here. All right, let's get Rebecca in here and see what she wants to do. So I've given you some options here today. I don't want to scare you away from this hobby, so this is really super simple stuff.
Well, no, I do this all the time for you. I build these for you all the time. I just don't like being on camera.
Kind of wish that you hadn't said that, because now people are going to think that. She's not a paid actress. Mm-hmm. All right, so there's some panels here that I've already printed out and pre-assembled, okay? Yeah. So like to put this on, you just have to undo these 4 screws here. Mm-hmm. And then put them back in.
Oh, yes, I know this.
Okay. So then here's a motor as well that can go in there. And then there's this grill to replace this grill right here. So with these 4 screws, there's 2 more screws inside for the motor. So you put the motor in first.
I'm already lost.
Do you want to use hand tools or power tool?
I think hand tools are probably better.
Okay.
A long afternoon.
I think you'd be surprised.
Cancel all my appointments.
I haven't mansplained a thing.
You have your mansplaining voice on.
I have a different voice for when I'm mansplaining.
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
I've been practicing for weeks. Even before I knew about this. Just come down here and unscrew things.
That's why everything is always loose when I get out on the trails. No wonder my stuff is always
just
breaking.
Come down here and
untorque all my bolts.
Now, anybody that's watching this stupid video, should know that I read all the comments. So if you write anything mean about me or how I look, I will ban you.
She has that power.
I have the power. I am drunk with power. All
right, so pop that off. Yeah, good job so far.
See, my hands did this.
Yeah, that's true. 2 cameras, can't lie.
We could have
done... No, wait, before you put that in, let's do the motor first. So these 2 screws have to come out.
I thought I only had to do 1.
No, you're installing, it did say has to install part, but we're going above and beyond the Call of Duty today. Because I love you. I really appreciate you. I like that you're keeping everything organized too. That's a good tip for people.
You don't want to over torque the screws.
No, right? Especially with the 3D printed part.
Yeah.
So these are cosmetic upgrades, which is why I thought you might like doing them, because it makes the truck look better.
Yeah, lipstick on a pig.
It looks like it's in there. That's good. Great.
This is the best day of your life.
It is the best day of my life.
You're going to cut around.
Oh, yeah. It's all going to be chopped up. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Here, this is what I think you should do.
Tell me.
Well, you kind of
put
do
in
that
a few
first.
so they get a little bit torqued in.
Yeah. That way.
Ah, then it stays in place.
Look, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching.
I think that's your favorite part.
Yeah. And the stupid music, which I love. Now, see, this is the way to do it.
Right, get them all started a little bit first and then go back in.
Yep.
I like that.
I don't know that you do this.
No, I don't. I usually go
Look.
one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Top tip, everyone.
Top tip. Where did you get this from?
Vanquish.
This thing?
Oh, that's
This
Knight
piece?
Customs.
Ooh,
Jimmy Knight.
Jimmy Knight. Oh, wow. I mean,
That looks pretty nice.
this might be the best.
That might be the best install I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, no, we gotta do the bottom
Oh,
now.
you want to do the bottom screws?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Well, you start a project, you want to finish
Yeah,
it to
exactly.
completion.
Exactly. If you're not gonna do it right, might as well not do it at all.
Yeah. Oh, nice job. Looks great. Okay, these are my hands. These are Rebecca's hands. I don't have nails or rings. Well, I have my wedding ring, but other than that, this was definitely Rebecca. She definitely installed those parts. She did a great job. Thank you.
Love you.
Great job. I appreciate you.
Love you.
Say goodbye to all your adoring fans. Thank you. Looks great. Good job. Looks really good. I'm chuffed with that. Those are nice parts. Love you. Bye.
Oh, here.
Oh, hey, come on in here. Come on in. Do you want to install some parts? Jump on up here. Jump on up. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. He's like, nope. Goodbye. I'm not helping. And who thought that was going to be difficult? She's an excellent helper, and she did a good job. So there we go. Some new parts installed thanks to Knight Customs. Let's get this roof panel on in the meantime. Don't forget there's protective coating. After we get this other panel installed, let's move on to the beadlocks. And you can tell that because of the mesh patterns that I'm using with this sort of this gold metallic, it really does match nicely to those new wheels. So let's see what that looks like here in a second. Please give Rebecca a lot of props in the comments. She did an amazing job. She's never, ever, ever worked on one of these trucks before. The tasks were completed 100%. Please give her a shout out. She reads most of the comments anyway, which is a great segue into me telling you about the membership here at the YouTube. They're the membership, the YouTube members only part of this channel, where you get to see all kinds of behind the scenes tips and tricks. I travel, all those adventures, they're all featured on the members only side. And while you do get a ton of free content here, that extra content is worth the price of admission in my opinion. So there will be a link down below. And if you're interested in that, I would greatly appreciate you. And I already appreciate all of these gold level ding-dongs who are such great participants. And they actually all just entered a giveaway too. So we'll do that sort of thing here as well. Now, through the magic of editing and the passage of time, I have updated the truck again because I didn't feel like just having Rebecca throw a couple panels on there was going to be enough. So I printed the rest of the panels, and oh my gosh, the cage is a different color now. This has been dyed, and it's not paint. It's not going to scrape off when you hit a bump or anything. This is injected into the actual plastics, and that's why I wanted the Yokohama cage, because it's a light gray and will accept a serious amount of dye. This was all done using this product here, RIT Dye More. This is for synthetic fabrics, and it's generally used on clothing, but it works really well on this nylon cage. Shocker. This is racing red, and it turned out a much darker red because it is already starting with a gray plastic. But this is exactly the look I was going for. It matches the beadlocks really, really nicely, and it just makes this so much more original and a lot harder for Josh to work with if he actually gets it. Because I don't know if this is really his vibe, but it is mine, and it's looking really, really good. I'm really, really happy with that. So for not a huge investment, this is a really easy process to do. And if you are interested in doing it, I've done it before on a couple other projects. The Rift comes to mind, Kentucky Sky Blue. But I'll walk you through it. One of these containers, this 236 milliliters, 8 fluid ounces, will do more than one truck. You could probably do 2 truck cages with the amount of dye in there, depending on the size of the cage. Fill up a stainless steel container to about the level that will allow you to soak all of these parts completely. You don't want to have to flip them or do anything else because you won't get a good consistent color. Heat that water up to about 177 degrees Fahrenheit. And then turn it to low so it maintains that temperature. Stovetop is best, and don't worry about your plastic parts melting. That's far, far too low for this type of plastic to melt, so you should be fine. Add a little bit of dish soap, stir that up, and then add your dye. Like I said, about half of that, 4 fluid ounces, to about the amount of water that I was using for this style cage should be plenty. And submerge your parts for about 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, this is what they look like coming right out. So you don't need to really have them soak for very long. Otherwise, the color will just get darker. Overall, though, I think it looks fantastic. Really super easy. I will recommend you put down as much newspaper or plastic as possible, especially if you've got white countertops like I do. This will stain permanently into those types of countertops. So I would definitely recommend maybe even doing this outside, nowhere near your kitchen if possible. And don't use a pot that you're going to cook in. Well, it's not going to permeate into metal, you just never know, and I wouldn't really recommend having this as a food surface thing. Keep that away from your food. But yeah, it turned out really great. I'm really happy. I did all the parts. I separated the entire cage completely. So everything that was light gray is now this dark, almost, I would say, oxblood. Almost oxblood red, which is a pretty cool sounding color. But yeah, it looks really good. I ended up actually taking out the fuel cell as well and adding another Josh Toth printed part here on the back, which has a nice spot for that little filler cap, which I thought was nice. Now you've got a nice depth on the actual bed there as well, so if you wanted to put some scale accessories in there, you could. I ended also going back to the original Geolander MTs. The height of the ATs just wasn't enough for me. It didn't look very aggressive. It looked a little too consumer grade. So we went back to a more aggressive tire, which I think really helps this truck look a lot meaner. I'm really, really happy with how this is coming together already. And while this is all cosmetic, in the coming weeks there will be a lot more mechanical and electronic upgrades to really make this truck shine. I've also got some really good ideas for how to even customize these panels a little bit further, and I'm curious about what you might think those could be. So if you've got an idea, put a comment down below. And you know what? If you'd like to see Rebecca do more stuff on camera, like installs or even participate in the live streams more, let her know. She's really excellent and she's so funny, and I would like to have her on the show more often. Anyway, so there you go. For money spent, I didn't spend anything really. $12 for the dye and a few cents for each of the printed parts. I had everything else on hand, including the bead locks. For the sake of the competition, I guess the budget doesn't really matter anyway, but I will list everything that I used down below, so if you are interested in trying any of these things out, I'll be sure to put those links in the description. All right, I think that's going to do it for this first week of Praise Wheel. Hopefully the wheel's a little bit nicer to me this week, and hopefully I get to keep this truck, because I don't want to have to deal with Josh's painting. I think it's really cute, though, that he did use the airbrush. It seems like an odd week, though. I'm not painting, and Josh is using an airbrush. Very strange. All right, I think that's going to do it, though, for this episode. Thank you so much. And, of course, stick around. There will be 7 more weeks of this. Hopefully not this much pain. Actually, this wasn't painful at all. Rebecca had a great time doing it. She was really super funny. And I'm really happy with what's come out of it so far. So, yeah, praise wheel. See you next time.